Welcome to Ping 24 Updates, your daily source for global events and breaking stories. The world is riveted, eyes glued to screens as breaking news flashes across continents. Headlines blare, analysts scramble, and the global audience senses a shift in the winds of power. In a move that has stunned observers, Japan pledges 6 warships to Manila, shaking the Indo-Pacific's already fragile balance and sending ripples through diplomatic circles. 6 gray silhouettes slice through Pacific waves bound for the Philippines, not just ships, but formidable destroyers bristling with advanced weaponry and state-of-the-art technology armed and ready for whatever may come. This isn't a routine exercise or a simple diplomatic gesture, it's a bold statement, a line drawn in the sea, a signal that the status quo is being challenged. For years, the South China Sea has simmered with tension, its waters contested and its islands claimed by many. Now, Japan steps in, shifting the region's power dynamic in a way that few could have predicted. The transfer is a calculated move, not just an upgrade for the Philippine Navy, but a message to every capital from Washington to Beijing. The balance of power is changing and alliances are being tested. The world is watching, breath held, as leaders and citizens alike try to read the signals and anticipate the consequences. The Philippines, long outmatched in regional naval power, is now more assertive, its sailors preparing to take on new responsibilities and defend their nation's interests with renewed confidence. Japan, once pacifist and cautious, is stepping up as a security provider, signaling a dramatic shift in its post-war identity and its willingness to shape the region's future. China's ambitions are the unspoken catalyst for this entire deal, its growing presence in the South China Sea prompting neighbors to seek new alliances and deterrence. These ships mark not an end, but the start of a new, uncertain chapter, one where the rules are being rewritten and the outcome is far from clear. Filipino sailors will soon command vessels more powerful than anything in their history, a leap forward that will redefine their Navy's capabilities and ambitions. Diplomats and strategists now face a far more complex chessboard, where every move is scrutinized and every alliance could tip the balance. Japan's move is a strategic gamble, one that could stabilize the region or ignite it. The stakes are immense, and the risks are real. As these destroyers prepare for their journey, they carry not just weapons, but the hopes, fears, and anxieties of an entire region, each nation wondering what tomorrow will bring. The Filipino Navy stands on the brink of transformation, its sailors ready to embrace a new era of strength and responsibility. For Japan, this is a leap into a new role, one that will test its resolve and redefine its place in the world. For China, it's a challenge to its dominance, a signal that its neighbors are no longer willing to stand by in silence. The Indo-Pacific's future is being rewritten, one ship at a time, each journey reshaping the map and the balance of power. The world waits to see what happens next, knowing that history is being made before their eyes. Why is Japan, after decades of military restraint and a pacifist stance, sending destroyers to the Philippines now? What has changed in the geopolitical landscape to prompt such a significant shift in policy? Officially, it's about fostering friendship and ensuring a free and open Indo-Pacific region, a vision shared by many nations. But the real driver behind this move is China's growing assertiveness and military expansion in the region. Japan sees potential threats to its vital sea lanes and its own national security as Beijing continues to expand its reach and influence. By arming the Philippines, Japan not only builds a buffer but also creates a partner capable of pushing back against regional threats. This is also about Japan's evolving role on the global stage, no longer relying solely on the US for security, but actively forging its own network of allies and partnerships. The Philippines, with its strategic location and ongoing disputes with China, emerges as a natural choice for Japan's strategic interests. This deal also cracks open Japan's long-standing arms export restrictions, providing its defense industry with a significant global boost and new opportunities. It's a move of self-interest, strategic balancing, and a redefinition of Japan's place in the world, signaling a new era of proactive engagement. Japan is stepping up as a leader, not just a follower, taking on a more assertive role in regional security. The game is complex, but the message is clear. Japan is ready to shape the region's future, asserting its influence and ensuring stability. What is the Philippines getting? 6 decommissioned Japanese destroyers, likely Hatsuyuki or Asagiri class. Not the newest ships, but a massive leap for the Philippine Navy. These multi-role warships can hunt submarines, shoot down aircraft, and strike enemy vessels, Armed with main guns, anti-ship missiles, and last-ditch defenses, they bring real firepower. Their sonar and anti-submarine weapons fill a critical gap for the Philippines. Advanced radar and communications turn them into command centers at sea. They'll coordinate with other ships and aircraft, making the whole fleet smarter and more effective. For a navy tasked with guarding thousands of islands, these are game changers. The Philippine Navy is about to enter a new era. These ships are a huge upgrade, but they're not top of the line, and some key tech is missing. Sensitive American-made systems like the Aegis combat system are off the table. The destroyers will have more basic air defense and electronic warfare suites. This means they're more vulnerable to mass missile attacks and have limited jamming capabilities. The US controls what tech Japan can pass on, so the most advanced gear stays out. Munitions are another issue. The ships may arrive with only basic, older weapons. To unlock their full potential, the Philippines will need to buy modern missiles and torpedoes, an expensive, separate process. The transfer is just the start. Making these ships fully capable will take time and investment. The Philippines gets the platforms, but not all the power yet. Upgrading will be a long, costly journey. The real work begins after the ships arrive. To understand this moment, look at Japan's history. After World War II, Japan's constitution renounced war, limiting its military to self-defense. For decades, exporting major weapons was unthinkable. Japan was the shield, America the spear. But China's rise has changed everything. With Beijing's military expansion and assertiveness, Japan's old model no longer feels safe. There's a new consensus. Japan must play a more active security role. Sending warships to the Philippines is a clear break from the past. It's Japan signaling it's no longer just defending itself, but helping arm its partners. This decision wasn't easy, but the balance has tipped. Japan is confronting its pacifist legacy to meet a new reality. The region's security landscape is being redrawn. Japan is forging a new path, one that could define Asia's future. The world is watching Japan's next move. This deal is a direct message to Beijing. Japan is telling China, your intimidation in the South China Sea will be met with resistance. By arming the Philippines, Japan challenges China's strategy of overwhelming its neighbors. 6 destroyers shift the balance, giving Manila real power to patrol, escort, and defend. The days of easy intimidation are ending. This move also strengthens the US-Japan-Philippines alliance, sharing the security burden. It deepens naval cooperation and interoperability, making the region's defense network stronger. Japan is backing up international law with military muscle, supporting the Philippines' legal victory over China. The message disputes should be settled by law, not force. It's a rebuke to China's might makes right approach. The region is uniting to uphold a rules-based order. China can no longer count on its neighbors being divided or weak. The strategic landscape is shifting, fast. For the Philippine Navy, this is a turning point. Once limited to aging patrol boats, it now gains real blue water capability. The destroyers' radars and sonar will vastly improve maritime awareness, tracking ships, submarines, and illegal activity. Chinese vessels will no longer operate unchallenged in Philippine waters. But operating these ships is a huge challenge. Training, maintenance, and doctrine must all be upgraded. Filipino crews will need extensive help from Japan and the US to master these platforms. Over time, these destroyers will become the fleet's backbone, with upgrades and new systems added. This deal forges a long-term defense partnership with Japan. It's not just about hardware, it's about building a modern navy. The Philippines is stepping onto the regional stage. The transformation has only just begun. Now, all eyes are on Beijing. China will condemn the deal, accusing Japan of remilitarization and provocation. Expect more aggressive Chinese patrols in the South China Sea and pressure on both the Philippines and Japan. China may test the new destroyers, engineer close encounters, or ramp up activities near disputed islands. Economic retaliation is possible, trade restrictions or boycotts to pressure Manila. But China must tread carefully. Overreacting could push its neighbors even closer to the US and Japan. Beijing may opt for a patient, long-term approach, modernizing its own navy and probing for weaknesses. The Philippines is vulnerable to economic coercion, but the security partnership is growing stronger. China's next moves will shape the region's future. The strategic game is on. The world is watching China's response. The arrival of these destroyers puts the Philippines at a crossroads, forcing the nation to confront its future in a rapidly changing region. For years, the Philippines has carefully balanced its deep security ties with the United States against its growing economic links to China, walking a diplomatic tightrope between two global powers. Now, the country faces a defining choice, whether to invest fully in its defense capabilities and strengthen alliances, or to hesitate and risk being left behind as the region's security landscape shifts. Embracing this new path means more than just accepting foreign ships. It requires rigorous training, upgrading equipment, and deepening partnerships with Japan and the United States to build a truly modern navy. This is the path to becoming a credible middle power, an ambitious and costly journey, but one that promises real security and a stronger voice on the world stage. The alternative is to take half measures, accepting the ships but failing to invest in people and infrastructure, leaving them as hollow symbols of progress. Such a move would likely anger China, straining relations, but without gaining the real protection or deterrence that true investment would bring. This is a moment of truth for the nation. What is sovereignty truly worth, and what sacrifices are Filipinos willing to make to defend it? The decision is not just military but deeply political, economic and social, and it will shape the Philippines for generations to come. The world is watching closely, waiting to see which path Manila will ultimately choose in this pivotal moment. The future of the Indo-Pacific region may well hinge on this single decision, affecting the balance of power for years ahead. The stakes have never been higher, and the consequences will be felt by every Filipino. The answer the Philippines gives will echo far beyond its own shores, shaping the destiny of the region and its place in the world.